Hey everybody, Neil and me is back with another Enjoying the Ride video. We're back better than ever. I know everybody's been saying, hey, when's Enjoying the Ride gonna make another video?
This time.
But it's been a while and we've got a few days off together and we were saying, man, we need to go do something. So we thought, hey, what's better than going out and doing a little Texas history exploring? Thought, well, let's head on down to Goliad and up to Gonzales and finally make our way up to San Antonio and top things off with the trip to the Alamo. So we're going to head on out, do some exploring, learn a few things, and thought you could come along with us and enjoy the ride. Let's go. So if you're ever on a road trip going from Houston south on Highway 59, make sure you stop at this, I don't know if you can see the sign or not, way out there in the distance, Prasix Smokehouse in Hilly, Texas. This place has got some of the best kolaches that you can ever hope to get in here. And they got their own smoked meats and whatnot. Really, really awesome place to stop at. It's been here for years. Prasix Hilly Smokehouse. It's full of pretty cool souvenirs. And like I said, some really, really awesome kolaches, beef jerky. Look at the size of that thing. It's monstrous.
The bread is so soft.
Yeah, they're delicious. But anyway, our first little stop had to stop and get a little nutrition in us, and we're going to be back on the road. Okay, we're on our very first stop of our Texas Independence Trail field trip, and we're at the battleground. Right here at this site, Colonel Fannin led a force of about 350 soldiers, most of them volunteers, against a much larger Mexican force. And Colonel Fannin knew that there was no way to win this battle, so they ended up laying down their arms. They surrendered, believing they would be treated as prisoners. And General Santa Anna had gave all of his subordinates strict orders that there was no prisoners to be taken. So after the surrender, the Mexican forces took Fannin and his men about 9 miles from this spot back to Goliad, where they inevitably was all executed. It was actually executed after the fall of the Alamo, but when word spread of the fall of the Alamo, no prisoners taken, they was all just cruelly executed, both here at Goliad and at the Alamo. That really raised arms, not just in Texas, but the entire country, to come and win Texas independence. A memorial here commemorating that first battle. It's really small, not much here, but kind of out in the middle of nowhere. But we did find it, and
Pretty.
yeah, it's really pretty, and real historical site. Here is the brief synopsis of what occurred. Pretty interesting fact. This is what the battleground actually looked like back like in 1935. They actually built, here's the bandstand here, and they actually built all this, including this pavilion, but it was damaged due to Hurricane Carla, and they ended up just removing it all and removing the concrete fence around it and just preserving the rest of it as a just a battleground historical site. Well, that's basically it. of our first stop of the Texas Independence Trail Tour, Fannin Battleground. There, you got a few little blue bonnets springing up. Very, very historical site. Look at me getting her camera out. I want to take pictures.
Blue bonnets are so pretty.
Yeah, they are. Mission, which is where Fannin and his troops were actually brought to after they surrendered back at the battleground. They actually have reenactments here, down here in this little field, and I'm guessing on the anniversary of the battle, they have reenactments of soldiers that come down here, or guys missing soldiers. Reenactments of the field. And they're saying this right here is where Fannin and a select few of the remaining soldiers were shot and killed. Is just behind the church of the huge courtyard. Presidio La Bahia, Goliad, Texas. Tons and tons of history here. Not just Texas history, but but Mexican history as well, Spanish history. There was a lot that went on here, and it's a pretty cool place to visit if you're into history.
Wow, they must have been really small folks back then, because I don't really fit through that door. They had water fountains back then? Amazing. Apparently this is an add-on in addition.
And this is the Mission Presidio La Bahia. I believe they said that was the first Texas independence flag.
It's an army with a sword.
First flag of Texas. Now we were at the True Fannin Memorial Site, and as we've already discussed, at the Presidio La Bahia, where Fannin and all of his men were executed. Years later they found a mass grave, and it's right here. Underneath that mound is the remains of several hundred Texas freedom fighters who give their lives for the independence of Texas. All right, everybody, we have made it to Gonzales, Texas. It's like maybe an hour's drive north from Goliad. It is basically where everything started. So they even have a memorial here that is dedicated to a group of soldiers who finally ended up going to the aid of William Travis at the Alamos. And they got volunteers from everywhere, all over the country, to come and fight for the Republic of Texas and for the independence, which we know they eventually won. It's a pretty cool little museum inside. They do have the actual cannon of the Come and Take It story. It's a really, really small cannon, but it's cool that it's there. But nonetheless, a big mark in history. It's a pretty cool little museum. I'm glad we made the trip, and a lot of cool artifacts in there. So on to our next adventure. Driving out of town, saw this monument here, and I was just kind of curious what it was, and it's dedicated to those volunteers who came to the aid of the Texian forces when the Mexicans come to take the cannon and it's just a remembrance. And I thought it was kind of cool, so I'm gonna stop and take a look at it. It looks really nice with that big old Texas flag as a backdrop. Ain't that pretty? It says, erected by the state of Texas in grateful memory of those heroes who made this spot historic as the birthplace of Texas independence. Gonzales, Texas. There it is, folks. History. Texas has so much history. It's what helps make this state as amazing as it is. Anyway, let's roll out. May's in the truck. Probably getting some snacks to eat on because she's hungry. Well, here we are, right in the middle of downtown San Antonio. Just to walk around the Alamo here, the most famous spot for where Texas independence was gained. This here is the memorial to all those who met their fate here. Here we are, just to enter this very, very historical place of Texas history. Okay, let's get in line and go inside. They're probably gonna take our picture for souvenir purposes. Well, we just exited the actual mission, and for respect purposes they didn't allow filming inside, so we could not film. A lot of restoration going on right now, which is really a good thing, because this thing was actually built in 1744 and completed in 1772, so it's a really old building, and they have to do the restoration projects in order to actually keep it here, else it's just going to crumble away. Over here we're going to walk and see some of the barracks that was used, and of course they're working over here as well. And look at this crazy tree, man, would you look at that. It makes you wonder how long this thing has been here. Jeez. Okay, a little fun fact on this tree. It was actually 40 years old when it was brought here in 1913. 40-year-old tree, and that's pretty much what it looked like at the time, I guess. And now the base of the tree, it says circumference is about 12 feet, and the branches expand over 40 feet. What a monstrous tree. And they've even got pillars to help hold it up. All right, guys, check this out. This is, I don't know how well you can see it. It says, to the memory of the heroes of the Alamo. And if you can see, it's all in Chinese. This was built by a Japanese professor, and he presented this to the Alamo in 1914. And this is actually a poem that he composed. It's comparing the Alamo battle to the heroes of a similar battle that happened in Japan in 1575. So it just goes to show that the famousness of the Alamo, that it wasn't just here in Texas or even the U.S., but it reached, you know, far beyond the borders of Texas and the United States. Pretty cool addition here. I don't remember seeing this last time we was here. This area is called the Living History. This is an authentic cannon that was used at the Battle of the Alamo. It was discovered buried a couple of streets from here and was restored to this present condition here. It's a 16-pounder. Yeah, the sign over there says it was actually used in the Battle of the Alamo. That was really, really cool. Well, we had plans of hiking up the infamous Enchanted Rock. As you can see, there it is. But unfortunately, today is kind of drizzly, pretty humid, and they closed it down because that rock is extremely slick. And they told us at the gate coming in that they would be closing it down, and because if you fall up there and need some medical assistance, the first responders ain't going to come up there to you. You'll be stuck. Well, we opted to go on the loop trail and try to go to this spot they have up here. It's called Scenic Overlook Pass. Still making our way to Overlook Scenic Pass Trail, and found this really cool rock to climb up on. I just had to stop and get a picture of the view. Trust me, this GoPro footage is not going to do this justice. It is so cool. A big old rock just out here. We're here. Hey, I climbed up on this rock right here and look, we're here. But anyway, right there is the trail. Well, let's get me off this rock and head to that trail. Maybe get a little drone action. Scenic overlook. Just look at all that out there. Those big old rocks. I don't think this is actually Enchanted Rock. I think that's what they call Little Rock. Enchanted Rock, I think, is on the other side. It's a big one. Big round.
Enchanted.
You need enchanted powers. Oh, the quail scared me. Over here? Huh. Wow.
You can climb on this rock. Enchanted Rock, but
still a cool view.
City overlook.
Right there, we was just at. That rock. Take it. Every few feet we go, or every several yards actually, you see a spot, you just gotta stop and take a picture. And this is one of them. This rock we climbed up. I don't know how we missed it on the way up. Coming down from this trail, we saw it. It looked like almost like a big old hand sticking up. So we climbed up here and stopped to take some pictures and get all this pretty beauty around us. Climb up on that one, May.
Oh no, it's so hard, babe.
That's what she said.
I can't, like, that one, and then I can't go in there. That's very long.
I'll boost you.
It's okay.
It's not safe, I know.
Take a picture now. Timer for you. I think that's our
All right. Yeah, we gotta be heading back.